GT channel.
My name is Jamie Trimble. I'm from Race Technologies. We're the Brembo high-performance commercial partner in the United States. Brembo's a premier braking manufacturer in the world, primarily based in Italy, but as a global company. Gran Turismo, or GT systems, are an opposed piston fixed mount caliper made out of aluminum. They're lightweight. They can be developed with a one-piece system, one-piece disc system, or a two-piece disc system. The difference is you're going to find a big major weight savings on a two-piece system, where a one-piece system can help you with a cost savings. This would be something, for example, that you would see in ALMS or any top-level road racing around the world. At Le Mans, you see it in 24 Hours at Daytona. This would be a typical setup on a Porsche, and even a Ferrari. And what you'll see in this design is the monoblock caliper carries all the way through. That means it's one piece. So instead of a two-piece caliper, where it's split down the middle and bolted together, this is a one-piece design called a monoblock. Other features you're going to find that this is a two-piece disc. You'll have a full floating disc and center section, what's called a bell or hat. So when you have a full floating disc, it allows the disc to expand and contract without damaging the components. For someone using a street vehicle or a street and track vehicle, or all the way into professional racing, they're going to be able to benefit from the technology of racing in a high-performance system and suitable for the street. On this wall, when we talk about that word range, range is important because of the type of environments these products have been put in and the type of vehicles and drivers. So when we talk about brake discs, you're going to see all different types of drill and slot patterns. You'll see different designs where there's a different annulus or thickness or diameter. They're all designed for a very specific intended use. Type 5 was the endurance type of slot, 8-slot rotor. It's going to have a straight slot versus a curved slot. The Type 3 race disc, that's going to have a very high release characteristic. It's going to let that pad off the disc very quickly in like milliseconds. When you go to the hardware side, this is actually called a key drive system. It doesn't actually use a bushing. So the bell itself is retained in the disc without a float bushing, and it's for top-level racing. When you move up, you move into what's called high performance. High performance means streetable, trackable. This disc is 405 millimeters, which is 16-inch. And it's 34 millimeters thick, and it's what's considered wide annulus or tall annulus, which is this pad area. Typically, the most important thing is the disc has to do its job of storing heat. If it can't store enough heat, that heat overflows in the disc and spills into the caliper, the brake fluid, and contaminates the components. So all of the different discs are going to be calculated by primarily three functions, is weight, horsepower, and grip. Now, there are an infinite number of variables that Brembo puts into their development, but those three variables are critical. So if you increase horsepower, it's important that you recognize that your stock brake system may not be adequate to be able to manage that heat from that increased horsepower. So this 405 millimeter system, you can find this on a BMW M5, you can find this on a Cadillac CTS-V, you can also find this on an SUV. You might find this anywhere where heat management or heat storage capacity, we call thermal capacity, is critical. The caliper itself is made out of aluminum, and it has a opposed piston design. So you'll actually see that there are pistons on both sides of the caliper that actually squeeze the pad on the disc. This is a two-piece caliper design where it's bolted together. You move down the line, you'll see different designs of two-piece calipers, and you'll actually see even a two-piston caliper or a four-piston caliper. Just like we were talking about earlier about top-level racing and the technology of racing being incorporated into all of Brembo's products, what you're looking at today, this is a Formula One caliper. It's actually a nickel-plated billet caliper design with a carbon disc, fully carbon brake disc, and carbon brake pad. All of the features of the best goes into this design because Formula One is one of the most grueling types of racing on a brake system, and Brembo is a key supplier to Formula One. The disc behind it is what we talked about earlier. It's moving into a streetable, trackable, raceable version for people like us with a production road car, since we don't own Formula One cars. This disc is actually called CCMR. CCMR is a step beyond a typical carbon ceramic matrix or carbon disc on a road car like a Ferrari or a Carrera GT or a Lamborghini. It actually allows that to go into our high performance program. So what we can do is we can take a carbon ceramic disc and now purpose design it for your upgrade for your vehicle.